Sorry.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. Of course, today is Comics News Today, and I'm Chester C. Busby III coming at you with my crew up here, and we're going to be covering a little bit of news things. Of course, do keep in mind we're going to try to keep this as tight as possible today because in an hour I have a Dungeons and Dragons campaign I need to run over in Dillard Draws, and if you guys are checking that out, I'll certainly look forward to seeing you over there as we continue that adventure. But of course, we have another role playing game we're doing here, which is on Bugbear's Basement tomorrow, which is God's Blood, which is done with a Marvel superhero role playing system. And that is a cyberpunk superhero type of campaign that's going on. And we're having a lot of fun with that. So definitely, if you're into those kind of things, come check that out. Other than that, of course, we always ask you guys to check out our links and get involved with the various things we're doing and be part of the conversation, right? And of course, my links to myself, if you want to be on the show or you want to be on the Drone Recorded Fan Edition, just go ahead and click on those and contact me, and I'll take care of that. But other than that, let's go over here and say hello to our panel today. Of course, we are joined by George today. How you doing, George?
I'm doing great. Only 3 more days until Infinity. No, not Infinity. Endgame. Yes, Endgame.
Have you been
Gosh,
drinking today, George?
yeah, I'm trying to get the brie out of my system.
Oh, brie, yeah, you shouldn't eat too much of that cheese. It's a bit strong. Ooh, that was a bad joke. I do apologize. And of course, I see Eric Boyd and Ara are in here. Hello, hello, hello to all of you guys. And of course, guys, hitting that subscribe and like we do appreciate. But we are a live streaming show, so definitely hit that share button and let your family, friends, and extended community know what's going on, so they can come and join us. But as usual, we're also joined by the Denali Lama. How you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome. Just hanging out, enjoying the Florida sun. It looks like it's going to be a very hot summer, as always, but enjoying the nice sun and the nice breeze that comes with it for right now. Perfect climate.
I see. Yeah, I know you guys get some pretty good summers. Of course, I get I'm on the very similar line as you guys are. So we get very humid and hot summers too. But it is what it is. Although this winter was pretty cool. It wasn't cold per se, but it was long and cool. So I don't know how particularly hot this summer will be. That's kind of fake news, as we all know. Actually, I do recall when I was a kid. The summers in the 70s were hotter than they are now, but it's all a loop, so who knows? But nevertheless, we were sitting here talking beforehand before we jump over into the news we got for today. We were sitting here talking about a few things, and of course, George has made his little Brie Larson joke. And the thing, a funny thing about that, we're not going to get into that and talk about it again. But just the funny thing about that is more and more clips are coming out from the press junket that they're doing and pushing out, getting ready for pushing out Endgame here this week. And you're watching those interviews, they do not like her, man. And
No, they
she,
don't.
I don't know what she did. Now, so, to be fair, like I was watching Jeremy over at the quartering, and he was covering this story, in depth. And to be fair, it could just be some salt from these guys, because they've been doing this for a long time. Then she just comes in, they're supposed to hand it over. It could be. It could be, but then again, we've seen this person every time she speaks, and she's just a nasty person you don't want to be anywhere near. So I kind of lean more towards she's at least part of the problem. It's not just a bunch of their egos. But who knows? Who knows? But
I don't. Yeah, I think a lot of these actors are professional enough to follow the stories. I
yeah,
think
but
just
they are throwing shade, dude. They are
yeah.
absolutely
I know.
throwing shade.
Well, no, I'm not denying that part. I'm saying that they're professional. I don't think it's because they're salty that she's being being thrown in the mix because they're professional. I think it's just they don't like her.
Yeah,
She's not
obviously.
an agreeable person to work with, and if you don't like the person, you're gonna have a hard time, showing that unity that had it before.
Yeah, well, we saw Chris Hemsworth, and he obviously doesn't care for her. Don Cheadle doesn't care much for her, but
Hmm.
the one that really, the new clips I saw, the one that really took me was
Hmm.
Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye. he was so incredibly uncomfortable sitting next to her. You can tell he didn't want to be there at all.
Oh
And
yeah, the body was palatable.
yeah, it was harsh. I mean,
Right.
I've that's like a kid squirming in their seat level. I mean, that's how uncomfortable he is around here. But anyway, like I said, we're not going to delve into that. We've already talked about that kind of stuff, and we know this girl is just an absolutely delusional idiot. And it is what it
She
is.
she
Well,
she's like,
before we stop on this, I just have to point out Jeremy Rimmer. I've said this before. He's a thespian. He's a great actor. He can really bring the believability in everything he does, and he couldn't even muster some acting chops to be sitting right beside her.
He couldn't even look at her, dude.
Yeah, I
Right?
know.
Yeah, because she was sitting there just going off about how great she was again. She does
Oh,
this.
good
She's just
God!
going off how great she was, and he's like, "Well, I'm very responsible too, but I don't use that to try to build myself up." But bang, he slammed her right there.
yeah, I don't
There's
use
a
my celebrity for causes or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But anyway, like I said, we know it's an ongoing issue and it's going to continue going on because it is what it is. But
But,
nevertheless, I see we have
but
Chaotic Neutral Comics in here. He says, "Hola, getting ready for work. We'll listen in the chat. Have a good night, guys." Well, thank you very much, dude. Joshua Hughes is in here and now. He says, "Hail Raven," but I'm a little bit surprised, Joshua. You kind of slacking, dude. Usually you're the first one in here and you claim the chat, but no, not recently, dude. What's going on? Are you losing some of that pizzazz, man? Come on. I know you can do better. I have faith in you. You're my favorite troll, you know? But anyway,
Yeah,
um, we are going to
you
get
know,
into some news here.
I was gonna punish Josh with a Mary Sue article talking about Raven, but decided against it.
Oh, that whole Mortal Kombat thing that's come out? Yeah.
No, 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 no. Mary Sue were talking about how the DC universe messed up Raven, which is kind of funny.
Well, the Titans Raven is not really the Raven that we're used to. But that whole show is it's just following we were talking about this a little bit before.
Hmm.
The thing that's like that's tough with Netflix right now is that the content is getting worse and worse and worse, right? Like I saw this
Right.
thing come out at I can't even remember what it was, but I thought the special effects were awesome. They actually obviously put some money into it, but it was just the same thing. You get every show is basically female led, and the females are all these ultra hardcore nasty bitches to each other. I mean, it's really hardcore. And it's like, is that really what people want? Is that really what people
No,
are interested in? You
no,
know?
it's the current it thing right now until it dies down. Where it goes in a cycle where something gets into a fad and everybody wants to do it, even though when you look at it, it's like, how did everybody like this junk? It's the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, they really are so ultra nasty, and it's like, I mean, I know men don't like this. So do women like this? I'm not sure, but it's not like we haven't seen it
Well,
before. We've certainly seen it
well,
before, but
well,
it's
think
every damn show, man.
well, think about it. I mean, Pope Raven's not Pope Raven, but Pope Starfire
Pope Fire,
said
yeah.
Pope Fire said though two women's are fine, three women's is too much, and you don't want to do that. Same things here. You have too many women on the creative team, and they're putting all this up,
Yeah, I know.
regardless of their gender.
But you're trying to sell entertainment. It's a bit weird. Joshua Hughes says,
Yeah.
was watching Midnight Cherry TV. I'm sorry, Chester. I can't be everywhere at once. Well, dude, that's a good excuse, though. Midnight Cherry's awesome. He
Yeah.
also says Titans Ravens was hashtag not my Raven. Yeah, it's not very Raven esque. I mean, Raven
Hmm.
is the goth girl, right? She doesn't say much. She's kind of quiet. She's dark. Darkness. I'm Batman. That it's that kind of thing, right? With Raven. And but this one was this angsty, emotional type of girl, and it's like, what? That's not Raven, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. She's Spencer's gift. Goff.
Did you like my emotional girl there, George? Did I do a good job?
It was very accurate. It reminded me of a lot of experiences I've had in the past, and I don't care to recall them again. You brought up bad memories.
I do apologize. It says DeWolf is over here and he says, "Oh my, Marvel Endgame red carpet is live." That should be interesting. But maybe we'll get to that a little bit later.
I'm sorry for laughing. Uh, I can just picture what do you call Brie Larson walking down the red carpet all by herself.
Mm. It's just, it's
What are
been
the
a
odds?
while for me. And I think it's because I live in Japan, but it's been a while that I've met someone whose head is so far up their butt. It's been a long time. That's someone that's that delusional, right? And I've met him before. I think we all have, but I haven't. It's been a long time since I met someone like that. So I don't know. In a way, maybe she's refreshing because she's in
Well,
touch with her own
she
arrogance.
is the gift that keeps on giving
Hmm.
of for stress and frustration. That is.
Hmm.
I mean, I
No,
guess
that's not
she's
true. I mean,
Eric
it's
says Chester is full of
serious.
angst and coffee. You damn right I am, dude. Let's continue on here though. Let me jump
all
over here and
right.
start
Yeah,
the news. Our
yeah.
first
Let's
story,
start it.
Denali, please.
All right. Whenever you share it.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I got to share with you guys.
Yes.
Charles sent me a photo. I don't know who Charles is, but I'll check it out, Charles.
Thank you, Chuck.
Now let's make sure I do it right this time. I think it's this one.
Mm.
There we
All
go.
right.
All right. I
So
did
from
good.
Newsarama, yes. Thank you, Chester.
Yay. Claps for Chester. All right.
Yep.
We got the
From Newsarama. From Newsarama, a new adult Catwoman cast for Gotham final. Um, Basically, this would be a non-story, but because a lot of Gotham fans were outraged that how dare you change, this teenage, well, she's no longer teenage, this young actress with another actress at the final. You should go ahead, cause her to actually publicly come out and say, hey, it's my decision to bow out and say and give this actress another thing. It was because I didn't feel that I was looked adult enough for the part that they needed for, and I'm totally okay with that. And you guys should do so. It's my decisions. So she had to write a long letter to the fans to say, "Hey, cool it. It's nobody's decision but my own."
yeah.
Uh,
That's I don't believe that for a minute.
yeah.
Okay. I was
So,
sorry. I was reading Charles' thing, and Charles was sending me a lot of really cool pictures, actually. This
mhm,
story here is we had that kind of bug-eyed girl that they brought into Gotham to play the teenage Catwoman, and I don't
mhm,
know, she was fine. I kind of I see where they were going to go with it, but you're saying that they're changing her for an adult version of Catwoman. Why?
because they're gonna time skip
10 years.
10 years so they could show Batman at the end.
Oh, I
And,
see. Oh, that's all right though. That's fine. That makes
no,
sense.
no, it's not all right. It's absolutely ridiculous. They could have just took it into makeup. And they could have done so many things to give her that touch of age look.
Yeah, but George,
It's
it's
a
just
cop.
going to be like the last minute of the show, right? It's going to be literally the, flat, the ending, whatever the story is, and then flash to the future. It's going to be like a minute,
It's a cop out.
I guess. Okay. But
I like Lily Thomas. She's a very attractive lady.
I mean, the bug-eyed girl?
No, the adult version that
Oh,
they cast.
oh, this one here that I'm showing. This is her.
Yeah,
She's kind of old.
that's why they chose her. But she's not old. She's in her mid-20s.
Wow, man, some of these girls these days they look so old. I mean, it's like we were talking about Bree, and this isn't intended to pick on her actually, but she looks old, man, and she's not. She's like 30 or something, right?
Well,
Right.
shilling line does take a lot out of you because you have to keep up with it.
I guess. I was Ara is saying I was wondering how the show was going to end. Yeah, no, I figured they would do that. I'm not surprised by at it at all. I haven't. I'm a little bit behind on Gotham, but I didn't mind that show. I know it got a bunch of angst and dislike from a bunch of people, but I thought it was all right. I mean, for what it was, I thought it was interesting. It's a lot better than most of those CW shows, or at least it was when I was watching it.
Well, the problem is that when they gave the pitch, they were where they were telling the audience they were going this direction, and then when they actually showed the show, it actually was like like another direction. Basically, they were telling us, oh, you're gonna get the greediness, but you ended up getting the Batman, Tim Burton's slash Adam West version
Oh, really?
of
Did it
God
change? Because I think I only saw the first two seasons. And how many seasons is it up to?
5.
Oh yeah, so I missed a lot. I don't know where it went. But this is the same thing with the Flash. Why I watched the first season, I thought it was right. Second season, I was like, nope. And then by now, it sounds like it's the Flash isn't even really the main part of the story anymore. It's all the yay girl type of stuff going on. So it's like, yeah, all right, that's where they tend to
Eh,
go.
The,
But
the, the Flash for every season, the storyline for the Flash is, oops, I did a time boo boo. Now we have to fix it.
yeah, they do that kind of
Every
stuff a lot,
no no
especially with the
every
men. They make a lot of boo boos. You know.
every season, it's the same concept. It's like, come on, can't you just come up with something original?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like with the Spider-Man Homecoming people. One of the big complaints I heard from people was the fact that Holland was just a bumbling fool. Now, I kind of get it. I understand he's new and he's trying to figure out who he is. I kind of get what they were trying to do, but I also think it's Tom Holland himself. He plays the bumbling, cuck boy really well. I mean, because that's what you need to be these days to get into Hollywood, really, because they're all these bumbling cuck boys. I mean, that's what they want. So
right.
but I get the argument, but at the same time, I didn't mind it.
But then again, he's in high school, so of course he's going to be bumbling. We didn't get the actual Spidey until he was in college, the Spider-Man that everybody
That's right.
remember him. So once he's in college, or if they keep him in college and they don't recast him because contract and all, then we should get the actual Spider-Man, and hopefully they'll stop clucking guys and get back to sanity. But a
Ah, well,
hard, long wish.
that is true. I mean, having one or two every now and then in a movie, it makes sense that the cuck guy, the soft, bumbling, foolish guy, it's a role, it's a character that you have in a lot of storytelling. Sure, it's a trope, but unfortunately, that's all we're getting. Like this show, which I can't remember, which is called Legacies, which I was watching, and like I said, the CG is awesome, but the story is ridiculous. They're all cuck boys, and they're just soft, unbelievable soft. And it's just like, okay, well, one or maybe even two of them, fine, but you got to have that heroic male in there. But they don't want that. So,
Yeah. All right.
Comic Book
Moving
Bob
on.
says he didn't care for Gotham. Yeah, I know a lot of people didn't, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. But moving on here. Ooh, this may be what? No, really? Denali.
So from comicbookmovie.com, Star Wars: The Rise of the Skywalkers. Palpatine return was always planned, according to Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Following the
Oh,
surprising reveal of Palpatine in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker teaser, Lucasfilm Kathleen Kennedy has revealed that the character's return has always been part of the plan, even though J.J. Abrams has stated on several interviews leading up to this reveal there was no plan, or the plan that was there was chucked out the out to space.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, that's true. There was no plan, and the real problem with this, we know she's lying, but spoilers. That's not the first time. But the thing with the Star Wars situation is this: J.J. Abrams came in to do his thing. He's a big Star Wars fan. He didn't pull it off one great, but then again, it's J.J. Abrams really can't do that. He's not. He's this. He's going to make you a mediocre, watchable movie, and that's about it. Right, that's what he can do.
mhm.
Unfortunately, they brought him in from the beginning, but he did come in and try to do something. But obviously, he and Kathleen Kennedy did not get along at all. She can't stand him because she couldn't fire him. He was too powerful for her to deal with. Because for Kathleen, you either do exactly what she says or she fires you. We've seen this. She's fired so many people for so many things, right? She just has zero tolerance for anyone who doesn't do exactly what she says. And Ryan Johnson is very, very, very much an ass kicker, kicker, certainly not. And but J.J. Abrams, she couldn't stand it, which is why she had Ryan Johnson destroy so much of what Abrams had done. But she screwed up. She did too much, and therefore they brought back Abrams to try to fix it. So now she's stuck with this guy she can't stand again, right? So this is nonsense. They certainly weren't planning bringing Palpatine back. No one wants Palpatine back. No one was thinking about having Palpatine back. No one asked for it. So it's a bunch of nonsense. But this is just
Right.
Kathleen Kennedy being Kathleen Kennedy, And I still say, and I stand by this, George Lucas, it was very ticked off by the fans not loving his prequels. And we know he hates Disney, but he sold it to him anyway. And he sold it to them with Kathleen Kennedy in charge. I'm telling you, that is his grenade that he threw into the mix. He knew she would screw it up. He knew she would do this, and it's his revenge. I'm telling you. It's because George Lucas is very petty human, if you haven't noticed this already. And I'm telling you, he did that on purpose.
TFT.
TFT.
That yeah, that should be the
Oh,
next
conspiracy
conversation.
theories. Oh, I see it. George
Yeah,
Lucas conspiracy theories. I get it.
yeah,
Say what? KK can't tell the truth in her life if her life depended on it. Yeah, well, I think it's her life depends on her not telling the truth right now, to be honest with you. But yeah, this is nonsense. Who cares? No one cares. No one cares. This is a problem that you've done. No one cares about Star Wars now. You've literally taken an American icon and get it to the point where no one cares. Congratulations.
yep.
Good job, right? And it's more than that because we were talking about this earlier, right?
Hmm.
I don't care about anything right now. There's nothing coming out that's really got me that excited. It's like, It feels like effort, right? And it's like this is not a good thing. They're destroying my interest in it. And I'm just going to go find other things to do, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I'm not looking forward to any more Marvel movies. I'm not looking forward to any more Star Wars movies. What I am looking forward to is actually reallocating any money I have in my pocket to go to things that would have occupied Marvel and Star Wars. It's that simple.
Yeah. Well, look at this one right here. Let me click on. I'm going to click on it. I'm clicking. I did it. All right. Let's
Oh
take a look at
no,
this now. Mama K's. I don't know what that is, but whatever Mama K is. No, no, I don't stop. I don't
just
care.
block. Yeah.
Mama K's Team 4 African animated superhero series picked up by Netflix. All right. Now, if this had come out in a different environment, I'd be like, okay, I check it out. Right. But right now, I know exactly why this is here. I know its intention. I know it's going to be full of get woke crap. It's going to be chastising me for being a white dude, left and right. I know it's going to do it. I know it. So why would I want to have anything to do with it, right? And this is what they've done. If they had come out with before an all black superhero team, I would have certainly checked that out. Yeah, okay, let's give it a chance to see if it's any good. But I'm not even going to bother looking at it now because I know exactly what it's going to be, right? So, I mean, this is what they've done, right? They've created this situation where we're not even going to bother, you know? And that's racism. Fine. Okay. Yeah, whatever.
But
Uh,
here, it's a funny thing that you say an all black superhero team. In 2010, they did I think it was a 10 episode Black Panther um, animation series.
it
Uh,
was really
you
good,
know,
too.
uh, yeah, it was really good, and no politics, nothing. It was
Well,
awesome. It played everywhere. It played on the BET network too.
yeah, the
And so,
thing, well, George, the thing with
go ahead.
that, for instance, was that was just Black Panther. It was the king of Wakanda, and he was dealing with the politics of his country. It had nothing to do with anything other than that. It was just Black Panther and him dealing with the situation in his country. That's it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it was nice.
Um,
And, he even kicked Captain America's butt. I mean, how awesome it was that cartoon? It
It
was
was awesome.
perfect.
Yeah, it was. But it's just the thing is, but it had no intentions beyond just telling the story of that they were telling. But then even with the movie, they come out and they had to throw politics in. Why? We know we've been reading Black Panther. I've been reading Black Panther since the '70s. I've always loved Black Panther. He is not an American, right? He does not care about other people's politics. He does, especially white people. That has nothing to do with anything with T'Challa. He's an African king, right? Not an American one. And this is where they
Yep.
screwed up in the movie because they threw in a bunch of this American black people's thinking. Not all. I'm just, of course, I have to say, you have to say that these days for some reason. But that was one of the big political problems with Black Panther. He's an African king. Why would he care? He doesn't care. They don't care. But this is another example. Anyway, moving on.
All right, so Star Wars: The Mandalorian was created to fill the void left by Boba Fett hype. So what they're talking about is after Solo was released, they quickly announced that they were making a Boba Fett film, and they were in talk with the director of Logan. And then, surprise to nobody's surprise, that went southhill and they stopped all production.
Hmm.
So to maintain interest in the hype of those audience that they want to see a Mandalorian, here's the Mandalorian that we're going to give you, but we're not going to name it Boba Fett, which is a good thing. But here's your substitute. Here's your generic version of Boba Fett.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. I'm not even interested at all in checking it out. But then again, I'm not interested in anything Star Wars right now. But if I hear and are doing our reporting and stuff here that it's really, really good, I'll probably go check it out. But they're not going to get me on day one because I don't care. I'm done. I
Yep.
really am.
That's exactly how I feel. I'm gonna wait, listen to the reviews, and then I'll spend my money or not.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, this is coming out on what is this coming out on Netflix?
Yeah.
No, this
Premiere
is coming Disney Plus.
Yeah. So
Disney
which
Plus.
means Netflix for me. I see.
Yeah.
Because overseas, everything that it comes out on Netflix. They just I don't know why, but they channel it all through that. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't care at all. I'm one of the few people that I think I didn't need a Boba Fett movie. I never did. I mean, the Boba Fett's fine. He's an interesting character. I liked him in the thing, but I don't need a Boba Fett movie. I'm never interested in it. I
You
mean,
know what I think it is? I think it's the fans' lack of satisfaction. He
maybe.
was such a he was such a great character introduced in Empire Strikes Back, in, in thematic setting, and then it was a cheap cop out kill in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but I mean, there's other characters I'd be more interested in seeing a solo run than with him. I mean, honestly, the only one I'm really interested in, as far as a solo run, would be Obi-Wan. I wouldn't mind to see what Obi-Wan was doing between the end of the Revenge of the Sith or whatever it's called, the last prequel, and A New Hope. That 16-year period. What is he doing? And of course, it's kind of funny because at the end of Revenge of the Sith, he's not that old, but yet when we see him in the 16 years, 17 years later in A New Hope, he's this really ancient guy near death. So it's like it doesn't really work out. But I mean, oh well. But I wouldn't mind seeing that, I guess.
Well, they said that people living in Tatooine. I don't know how much canon this is anymore, but it was previously said by George, and then in the novels that living in Tatooine premature aged because of the two sons, the twin sons.
Oh well,
So,
now that's
so they're all raisins.
well, that's actually another little bit of interesting reference because we do know that the George Lucas's Star Wars, and all, it's not an original story. He's taking this off of several things and he's readapting. It's what he did. He readapted something, and he did a good
Mm-hmm.
job with it. But that's kind of taking off the Mesopotamian stories because a lot of those old Mesopotamian stories are part of Star Wars, right? It's built into that. And one of the things with that is those. those visitors, those gods in the Mesopotamian stories, they were at the end of those stories, they were aging accelerated because of the living under our sun, right? And so
Hmm.
that's where he's getting that from, which is cool. Yeah, cool. Whatever. But yeah, I don't know if it's really good. I'll check it out. I hope it's good. I hope it's awesome. You know, Comic Book Bob says, yeah. Only way I'm going to go see Episode 9 is if I have a free ticket. They killed my interest in Star Wars. Couldn't care less now. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't care. I don't care. Joshua says Killmonger cared, and that's why everyone liked him more than Black Panther. And that's not true. The reason why they like Killmonger is because he's a better actor. Plain and simple. That boy, I can't remember, never remember his name, but the Creed boy. Um, he's
Michael
a
B.
solid.
Jordan.
Yeah, there you go, Michael B. Jordan. He's a solid actor. The kid's talented. And he's more charismatic. He sucks up the scene when he's in it. He's dynamic. He is what he is, and that's why it was better because he's better. And he was a villain. He was the bad guy, and his opinions were bad guy stuff. So but I thought he did a fine job. I mean, I haven't seen him in anything particularly where he's been bad. I think the scripts have been bad around him several times, like for instance, Fantastic Four. I think he's
Hmm.
being used by Hollywood, which you would think would tick him off, but I guess money's money. But it is what it is. He says the Mandalorian had a cool trailer at the Star Wars Celebration. I didn't even see it. See if we can bring that up, Danelli.
Well, you can't. It was only for the Star Wars Celebration. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
Yeah.
public.
yeah. You do not understand the internet, George. See if you can find it, Denelli.
All right.
You know what? I realize what you're saying.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, let's find a phone trailer of the
all right.
trailer.
Let's see.
Shaky
There's
at
a
best.
tildeer. There's a tildeer here as well. I wonder why. Why is there a tildeer in the middle of this article? That's weird. Oh, meaning if you don't want to read it, here's a picture. Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. Tildeer means too long didn't read. By the way, for those of you guys didn't know, you probably all know. I'm sure. I'm the
Yeah.
boomer, right?
Here you go. Yeah, here you go.
All right. Let me see here.
It's not good quality, but here you go.
That's great.
Oh, the internet, man. All right, let's wait for this to render itself down here. But other than that, it's
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know, man. I'm literally anti-interested in anything Star Wars right now because of what they've done. And it's God, man. And I don't, I'm not blaming all Disney either, because to be fair, George with his prequels really kind of it dissatisfied me, right? And I was already kind of in a slightly negative opinion on Star Wars anyway. And we were so hyped and so excited about the Force Awakens coming out. Yay, 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 yay. The movie was watchable, but it wasn't great. It's full of plot holes. It's got a lot of problems. We all gave it the benefit of the doubt. We said, yeah, okay, she looks like a Mary Sue, but give it time. Let's check out the next movie. Maybe they're going to explain why, and which they could have, but no, they just Mary Sue the hell out of her, and happily so. So it's been building. It's been building. Let me see if that's back up. It is. Okay, let me.
You know, the one thing about the Force Awakens that was really, really bad in storytelling
Mhm.
is when that planet Death Star shoots, it shoots because it sucked the energy of a sun nearby
Yeah.
to make a shot. So what happens after it did its shot? You get daylight scenes on the planet. The planet should be in darkness at that point.
Oh well, there's tons of plot holes in the Force Awakens. But that's J.J. Abrams. It just is. He's not. It's unfortunate. I don't want to be mean to JJ because I mean, in the end, I mean, he makes some silly statements here or there, but I think in the end, he seems like a nice fella. He's very enthusiastic about what he wants to do, but he just isn't skilled. He's just not. And it is what it is. Anyway, let's watch this. We're gonna check it out. Bring the volume down a little bit here. Don't know the quality here, but we'll check it out. Here we go. Ooh, beeping. Okay. All right.
Stepping. Oh no. I'm tracking you.
And we've
What's
decided,
my-
is this a dude or a lady yet?
It's a dude.
It's a guy from Game of
Yeah.
Thrones. He got his head crushed by the mountain.
It's a.
Oh, that Latina fellow. I really,
Yeah,
pretty boy.
Pedro. Yeah. Whether he'll last the whole season, that's another question. He could be Sean Bean.
Well, it depends what they do. Well, that looks like
first time
models.
is a live-action Star Wars series.
If they do it correctly, we won't see his face,
It
right?
takes place about 5 years
You know,
after
it'd be
Return of the
hilarious
Jedi.
if somewhere in
The series follows
series,
a Mandalorian.
This
the
new
real Boba
character
Fett turns
is
up,
a
kills the guy,
gunfighter, a
and
bounty
continues
hunter,
the
a
story.
citizen of
That'd
the
be great.
underworld on the outer reaches of the galaxy. It starts off with him just hunting down quarries, making his money.
Just a bounty hunter.
This is a character you've never met before, in a period of time that you've never seen.
It's Boba Fett, dude. You can't lie
There's
to me,
just an
Mr.
aesthetic
Favreau.
to the Mandalorian that is extremely powerful, mysterious. This armor that harkens to medieval knights.
Yeah, I liked him in Game of Thrones, actually. He was a pretty cool character.
He's relatable.
He was
We're
also
all
in
kind
Narcos
of
as
covered
well.
in our own armor.
No, I think he was cool. I like what
Here
he
we
did.
are,
He's a good actor,
day
too.
3.
Start a little bit back and then move into that position.
That's one of the
I think John chose
directors.
the team really, really well.
Here we go.
Deborah Chow.
Obviously,
Joe
David,
then
would
you
be
got
the
Dave-
Bryce,
pronunciation. but-
Cho.
Deborah,
Yeah.
Rick,
Whatever.
and then Taika.
Different voices
that
and
Watiti?
personalities that
Yep.
each of the filmmakers
It makes
were
me think of a
bringing to the
Jawa.
table and
When I
wanted
say
to
his
bring
name, I
that
want a
to the
Jawa
world
to say,
of Star
Watiti!
Wars.
Everybody's point of view is sort of involved in the story.
Yeah, okay, this is a long bit. They actually gave quite a bit there at the show, huh?
This series
Yeah.
offers the opportunity to
They
introduce new
really
planets,
selling this.
new races and species.
If you want to watch this show,
New
you want
starships.
to get Disney Plus.
However, we wanted to feel
only coming-
completely connected.
And here's the other
tonight.
thing we talked about is that they're going
It's
to be
truly an
releasing
adventure.
this weekly. You're
Star
not going to be
Wars
able to
adventure.
binge watch this. They're not going to release it all at once.
Well, the
Oh,
thing,
sure.
the
As
thing
the
with it
heart
is,
that
though,
Star Wars has
Denali,
always
why
been
didn't they
about.
just call it Boba Fett?
Because
It will
they're going to
feel
say
great, it will
he's
feel
not
real.
Boba Fett and they're going to act like Boba Fett.
Obviously he is.
But anybody could sit down in their seat
It's
and watch
obviously
and
Boba Fett.
Not when it is. Because they don't want to, when they kill him off, so the girl who will take the helm of the Mandalorian, eventually people won't get mad at that.
I see. Well, whatever. Let's see. We found Booster. This is where Booster has been, Chester. I don't know. Where's he been? Is he over? Is he cheating on me? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Cause Boba Fett is dead. Oh, thank you very much, Joshua. All right, that explains it. Everything to me. Thank you.
There you go.
Seriously, as a character, do you really think Boba Fett's going to go out in a Sarlacc mouth? I mean, the guy's going to drop a few grenades and claw his way out. No, the guy, there's no way.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. But I don't get it. It looks kind of clean. Looks cool. Might be fun. But I don't, call it the Mandalorian or you want. That's totally cool. But he is Boba Fett. I mean, that would even be a nice little twist on it. Call it the Mandalorian, but he is Boba Fett. Because and everyone is going to look at it like that. I don't know what they're thinking. Everyone sees that trailer and realize, it's Boba Fett. We all feel that, right? So I don't know. Anyway, let's move on.
I mean, yeah. So, AV Films by Sharon Miller writes, Black Panther finally made women of the MCU equally capable heroes.
hmm
So, Black Panther women's are capable heroes. Completely ignoring all the other women in the MCU. But that's okay. Thank you.
That's what they normally do, right? But yeah, whatever. Did they? We've had female heroes forever. I don't. What are you talking about? But this is the thing. These young people these days, they don't know nothing, right? Because they don't study anything. They don't realize we've had female heroes my whole life. When I was a little kid, we on TV. Let me see. What did I watch when I was a kid on TV? Let's see. There was a show called ISIS. There was another one had this lady that was like in charge of a tech team. I can't remember the name of that show. We had another lady that was oh, that's right, Wonder Woman. Let me see. There was many things that hey that had women in the front or part of the show that was going on. What did you say?
Yeah, Voyager, Cagney, and Lacey. I mean, I can go on.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, I
it's
mean, but there were more than that actually. In the 70s, there were in the 80s, there were plenty of female-led stuff. Some of it was
Right,
good,
right.
some of it wasn't. But it's
Well,
just, what are
well,
you talking about?
well. Here,
Mary Tyler Moore. I mean, come on,
That was
Maud.
sorry,
horrible.
Come on.
but but here's the thing, because you'll get to this detractor. She's only talking about the MCEU. She's not talking about all of it. Specifically saying that the MCU hasn't had strong females in their movies.
Yeah, let's talk about the strong female. Technically speaking, the Scarlet Witch is the strongest, what I call character in the comic books and the MCU.
Right, and
Yeah,
she writes in this article that she's a liability that doesn't know how to use her powers.
I see. But Michonne, because oh, let me see. Look at this Shannon Miller here. Oh, you're a black girl. I see. I see. Maybe there's something behind what you're saying there, huh? 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 Because I've actually had my students ask me because I've traveled all over the world, right? And I've been to many different places, and they'll ask me little weird little questions out of nowhere, right, about America. Something as silly as, "Is it true that all Americans drink coffee?" And I'm like, "No, it's not true." But they'll ask me these weird little things, and I've had several times people have said, "Is it true that the black people have to deal with racism on a daily basis, and their lives are always threatened, and they're going to die at any second?" And I was like, "No." Actually, and the thing I end up usually saying is actually I've been all over the world and I've seen a lot of tribalism. I've seen a bunch of racism, of course, but I've never seen anybody, any group as racist as the Black Americans. The most racist group I've ever run into, and that's more than Chinese or Koreans included, right? Because those people are hardcore racist, right? But no, they're just it's unbelievable. And here's another example, right? Because it's a black girl, so we're going to talk about that. Yay, black power! You go, fist in the air. And it's unfortunate. And once again, not all. Damn it. Because actually, as I said before, there's a whole nother group of black Americans that, you know what? They're not black. They're just Americans. And that's most of the ones I grew up with. But this is just more racism. Poor Black Widow. Oh, whatever. Don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Black Widow's black.
No. Eric
Yeah,
Hawkins
moving
says, in
on.
the current political climate, the leftists believe whatever they are told to believe. This is true, dude. Nick W says, is this article racist and sexist? That would be a
Yep,
twofer. It is, dude. Yes, it is.
yep.
Oh, and Eric says Maud was Chester's favorite female hero lead. Dude, I haven't thought of Maud in a long time. Yeah, that was a fun show, actually. But no, the point is, that we were making, there were plenty of female roles. Matter of fact, I don't recall a show that didn't have women involved with it. Oh, shocking! That's reality, right? But of course, these days we're getting shows that are only women, and we've had a few in the past too. But women have been heroes and stuff my entire life. I've never ever seen it where it wasn't that way. But this selective memory that these young millennials have is really disgusting. But as far as this goes, whatever. I thought Michonne was fine, and I don't know who the actress is, but in The Walking Dead, she was fine. In this movie, I thought she was very weak. Actually, she wasn't a very good character, and mainly because she doesn't move smoothly. And that's not a blaming on her. She's not an action hero. I know that Marshawn supposedly is, but if you think about it, all she does is stand and move a sword up or down one direction and the other in a tight caught scene, right? She doesn't move well, right? If they really wanted to have an awesome, a Wakandan, warrior queen, a warrior, whatever she is, they should have found an actress who's really smooth moving with a staff in her hand, because this lady moved extremely awkwardly, right? It didn't look good at all. So, whatever. I don't know I don't know what movie Shannon was watching, but and I have nothing against this actress. I think she's pretty cool in The Walking Dead, actually. but she's not a good action hero, that's for sure.
Wait a minute. This girl from the Black Panther is Michonne?
Yeah,
The Walking.
yeah. She just
Yeah.
doesn't have the hair, dude.
Yeah, she got.
God, that's incredible.
hmm Yeah, well, I
No,
like
seriously.
Michonne. I thought she was fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
This actress here. Okay, I'm not talking about the action. This actress here. That one scene where her boyfriend or husband said, "Are you? Will you kill me?" And then she puts the spear up towards his face. It says, "For Wakanda." Yes, or something like that. That look, that acting, that look in her eyes, that was amazing. That was an amazing piece of acting right there by itself. It was incredible.
She's not a bad actress at all. Yeah, that's not what I'm talking
She's
about. I was talking about the
terrific.
action aspect of it, George. She's
Yeah,
not a good
no,
action hero.
I agree with the action, but that one scene where she says, "Yes, I will kill you for Wakanda. I'll kill you." It's like the look in her face, the pleading, the begging for him to stand down, but she's still standing there, resolved that she will actually do it. That was amazing acting.
Yeah, yeah. I guess
Incredible.
I didn't really. Nothing in Black Panther really stood out to me particularly, George. But okay. Eric Boyd says Chester has a poster of B. Arthur in a bikini on his wall when everyone else had one of Farrah Fawcett. Dude, have you ever seen a young B. Arthur? I mean, really?
Oh, Charlie's Angels. What about Charlie's Angels? Oh, talk about an all-female cast. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
Okay,
no.
sorry.
Charlie was
Don't
fun
talk.
too, but they would
Don't
call
talk
that
about Charlie's
some
Angels.
kind of manipulation or sexism, I'm sure, on that show. But no, seriously, dude, go check out young B. Arthur. You think you're busting my chops? You're not, dude. That's a sexy lady. Don't you mess with B. Arthur around me, dude. The fighting words. Anyway, let's see. Nick Davis says Eric Boyd. We would sing under his breath. And then there is Maud. Bullet says Chester was a train conductor on the Underground Railroad. You guys really have this epic understanding of my age, huh? That's funny.
Yes,
You've
you
been
were
everywhere.
too, weren't you, Chester? You were
No,
chronicling World War II.
for Wakanda, I will kill you for a decent croissant. Yeah, I'll go. If you want to hear really nice croissant jokes, go and watch The Tick. It's awesome. Yeah, I don't know why
there we
we're.
go again. Again, we're the guy shilling the tick. I mean,
I
yes, we
am.
know Chuck. It's an amazing series.
It
We'll
is.
all watch.
You should. Yeah, I will take no angst from you at all, George. I am right. 2019. But you know, whatever makes you guys happy, I suppose. Anyway, and let's do our last bit of story here today. Go ahead.
Sure. From Screen Rant, the website that shills Disney so hard. Marvel's new Avenger has powers of Wolverine and Venom, and she just immediately got it in the same issue. And she's American Chavez's girlfriend, and she's a mutant.
I gotta mute myself. I'm sorry. Continue.
Eric says, "Yeah, I'm watching now, dude. It's awesome, isn't it?" But okay, so what we got here? We got a I don't know, black or mulatto, lesbian new superhero.
Yep.
Wonderful. They
Who got her?
checked all those boxes, didn't they?
Yep. Got her power immediately for because no reason.
Oh,
I'm gonna save the day
okay.
because she's part of the West Coast Avengers now.
Okay, whatever. It's just unfortunate in the climate because if they had introduced this character in a different way in some other period, we wouldn't have cared. It would be, is it a cool character or not? And no one would care anything at all.
Yeah.
But the politics behind it is just seeping off of it. First of all, American Chavez is absolutely awful, awful comic book. This is what's that Latino girl's name who made that? She's so angry. Um, Who's the one that they gave American Chavez to, and she just absolutely killed it? I can't remember
I
her
don't
name.
know.
Gabby Rivera. There it is. But Gabby
Mm.
Rivera is a very angry, angry young lady. She's very angry. She hates everyone. She hates her family. She hates everything. It's nothing but hate. And this comes out in her comic book. And of course, it was also, they gave it to an artist who had no talent whatsoever or skill for that matter. It was horrible looking art. It's not even stylistic. It's just really poor. And each page you can point out all the mistakes, especially if you've been involved in this community for any point of any time, because we learn so much from these artists as they talk to us and show us and tell us things. It's just every page was horrible in that book, every page, and the story, of course, is just pure hate. It's pure hate. So anything that's coming out of that is already tainted. Now, could this? I'll certainly give it a shot. I'm going to check it out because I read comic books and maybe it's a cool character. I'm fine with that, right? But it's already coming out of a tainted source. So I'm very leery. You know.
Yeah, I just had a good laugh just reading it.
I didn't know
And
this episode of Fanspeak was going to be a comedy.
we
Well, we've
always
had a
try to
lot
do
of
comedy.
negative news today. We have. Yes, identity
I mean,
politics is poison, McCrank. You're right.
talking about Marvel and then talking about Star Wars. I mean, even the site is already trying to cushion or already put the seeds in that the Rise of Skywalker is going to be the new name of the Jedi, that everybody's going to be a Skywalker. We're no longer calling the Sith the Sith. They're going to be called Ren, and no longer are the Jedi going to be called the Jedi. They're going to be called Skywalker.
That's just
You know
stupid.
why?
That's just
Because
really stupid. And whoever,
because
if that's is true, and if someone actually made that suggestion, they need to be slapped in the face because that's dumb. That's just dumb, right? We
because
already have Jedi and Sith, which is ultra cool. We don't need you dumbing it down. Thank you very much. But I don't know, dude. You know the thing that kills me about with these comic book characters we see coming out of the big two, right? Is and they trying to make new ones, which is cool. I'm happy they're trying to make new characters. But here's the thing, because I've been working, doing tabletop DMing for a long time, and I
yeah,
also working on my own campaign books and stuff like that. I literally have 100 unique characters, and I make sure they're unique from anything else that is in the world. And occasionally something new will come out, and I got to scratch one off. It happens every now and then. But in general, I have 100 unique characters I could put forward. Are they all great? I'm sure they're not, right? But I'm sure there are a few gems in there, right? But yet, if I can do that, just a normal dude sitting in my house, how in the world does Marvel, freaking Marvel, not be able to pull that off? I don't get it.
Laziness, incompetence, lack of respect. I mean, I can go on. There's a lot of words in the English dictionary.
Yeah,
they don't
it's
care. This is just a stepping stone for a lot of these writers and artists because
and
they're here for the recognition that, oh, I work on Marvel, to plant their badge of, okay, now I'm a pro, now I'm in the industry by working at Marvel, whatever.
mhm. but
And
But it's another thing here. I get you saying, Janelli, but there's more here than that. Take a look at this art that I'm mousing over right here.
yeah,
This is not even subtle. That's a Wonder Woman, right?
yeah,
They're referencing. They're doing a wink wink Wonder Woman look here with the chest
yeah,
design, right? So it's
right.
it's just laziness. It's taking pieces from this and that and saying that'll be cool. No, dude, make something new and unique, please.
Actually, it'd be funny if they actually traced over the Wonder Woman image. Now that you mentioned it,
Well,
it
it's
looks like
obvious. I
it's
mean,
been
it's so
traced
clear.
over.
Look at it. That's Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think they actually traced the Wonder Woman because I think that's a page from one of the recent issues as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Bullet says, yeah, I don't care about race or sexual orientation. What I do care about, though, is if the character is interesting and what the story is. Yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to say. We don't care what color they are or what gender they are. Is it cool? But the problem is, we know because of this environment, everything that's coming at us has some political leaning. Now, I'm going to read this when it comes out. I'm going to check this character out because, I read comic books just like the rest of us. But I already know. I already know what it's going to be, especially where it's coming from with this Gabby Rivera nonsense. It's very
Sorry,
Leaning towards, yeah.
who was
sorry, that
that?
was me. Sorry.
Okay,
No, that was me. I was just flicking things around. Sorry.
that's all right. Yeah, and Eric says exactly the same thing. Yeah, isn't that the Wonder Woman costume without color? Yes, it is, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I mean, that's what I mean. It's just this lazy nonsense. And now you can say, oh, maybe that's just a wink to Wonder Woman. Okay, fine, but this character doesn't look unique, but I don't know. I'm going to check it out before I give a comment on this character. But it's just the article for me overall is just more of the same nonsense. Is unfortunate.
I'm gonna actually look at my Wonder Woman comic because I think I've seen that image before in one of the past comic book issue. I think this artist actually traced over
It's
Wonder
possible.
Woman.
They do that. That's actually something interesting to get away from this negative feelings we've been having here all show. But on another side, actually, that's something I learned about art I didn't even know. I would have never expected any tracing coming out of professional artists, but they do it quite a bit with the light
Right.
boxes and stuff like that. It's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what kind of tracing you do. I mean, it's good for or bad sometimes, but it doesn't help you get better. You know, if you lean into it like a clutch, it's like CGI. A little bit of CGI here and there helps, but if you lean into it, then you tell the work it becomes kind of blah kind of deal. It's a tool like anything else.
Nick says, "Of course Chester is going to read this. He gets Goddess mode every month." Yeah, I'm never going to live that down, am I? Oh well.
No,
But when
no,
I do the reviews with Brad, I try my best to be as honest as I possibly can. And the original Goddess mode, the issue one, I didn't read any others, but the issue one, it was absolute nonsense in the politic it was putting forward, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it was pretty well written and the art was pretty good. So I stand behind that because it is what it is, right? And then I'm going to do the same thing with this character. You might think that I'm going to go with already a negative opinion on it, but nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to read it. I'm going to look at it as it is, as I always do. It's just like Kelly Sue DeConnick's Aquaman. She's done a really good job with it, and she's a nasty, horrible human. I get it, but she's talented, dude. It is what it
but that
is.
story, but that story has nothing to do with Aquaman.
No, it
That's
doesn't.
the
It doesn't. But I'm not talking about the politic. I'm not talking about what's being told. I'm just saying, is the writing good? Is the art good? And yes, they are. And that's it. And then I can give commentary beyond that, which I do, right? Because that
right.
has nothing to do with Aquaman, actually. But she's telling an interesting story. But I'm just saying that I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stand behind what I say because it is as honest as I can be. Now you can agree or not agree, and that's fine. And I know you're joking anyway, and that's cool, dude.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, unfortunately, you don't understand how much it pained me to say that, dude, because that Zoe Quinn is an absolute toxic human. But yeah, it is what it is. But then again, after reading it though, and I did make this comment as well, after reading that and seeing all the interviews that and all the things she said during Gamergate, right? I don't believe she wrote that anyway. I don't. She's not that smart. Now, Anita Sarkeesian, that's a clever lady. She's very smart. But Zoe Quinn, she's kind of like a deer in the headlight type of chick, right? So I don't believe she wrote that anyway. I think someone else ghost wrote that for her, dude, because that's way beyond any kind of level of intelligence and sophistication I've seen out of her. Now she might have had the general idea because it has all that politic in it, but I think what they did was they got a bunch of writers to help make it actually something. It's probably what happened. But anyway, boy, that's all we had today. Nothing fun, Denali.
Sorry, Monday Blues. You want to? This is all the website gave us.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, I suppose. But that's all right, guys. Thank you for joining us over here today. We certainly enjoy coming at you, even if it's not a positive day. We have a lot of fun talking about the news and stuff, and we enjoy you guys coming over and hanging out with us as well. And but oh well. But let me come back over here and clean this up and finish out our show for today. All righty. All right, guys. Well, George, you got anything to say to end the show?
Yeah. Despite all this negative publicity with Brie Larson, always keep a happy thought, knowing that your childhood exists in the library,
It does.
exists in It exists in all the old books. It exists in 11 years of Marvel history that you can always refer to. How many times have any one of us gone back and watched Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, or Return of the Jedi?
Oh yeah.
Multiple. I've watched. I watch it every year. I cannot begin to tell you the number of times I watch those movies. So you know what? They can play their games. They will go broke. That is a guarantee. They will go broke with their ideology. But you know what? Every one of us will have more money in our pockets. We'll be more frugal with our spending, more choicey with what entertainment we will be taking in. We may even become publishers ourselves just to fill in the gap to make other people of our peers happy around us. But we can always refer back to the library of wonderful entertainment to always keeps us happy and always pass it on to the next generation.
That's right. Yeah, cool. I do see that Flit here says that Zoe didn't write it. If you've ever seen her Depression Quest game, it's obvious. Yeah, no, it's true, dude. And Nick W says Carol is stronger than ever. She's matured, and the team made her. Brie Larson, 2019. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for that ending sentiment there, Nick. Anyway, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Denali, take us out of here, man.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining for Comics News today. Join us tomorrow for Bugs Bear Basement, where we'll be following the adventures of Jupiter 10 and seeing what the next story will be for God's Blood. Remember to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't, and share this because it does help us out. If you have any ideas of what you want to talk about with us or you want to join us, hit us up on Facebook with Fanspeak Group. To Chester on Twitter and any other places that he mentions down the link below. But as always, your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one.
Namaste. Later, guys.
Aloha.